Do you guys know that there's a new 2025 Lincoln Aviator? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you everything about it. We're going to go through it. We're going to look under the hood. We're going to see what's changed and what hasn't changed. We're going to talk about how much it costs. But before we do that, let's do a quick reminder of the Lincoln lineup, because I'm here in Palm Springs where Lincoln flew me out to test drive that. I'll get that to a second. But first, let's start with this. So kind of at the bottom of the lineup is the Corsair. And then as you move up in price, you hit the Nautilus, which I'll be reviewing tomorrow, so stay tuned for that video eventually, probably a little bit later this week. And then, of course, we'll be looking at this, the new 2025 Aviator, which is their first smaller three-row. And then, of course, the big boy, the Lincoln Navigator, which is a much bigger three-row. But let's start with the Aviator. It comes in 3 trim levels: Premier, Reserve, and of course Black Label, and they start at about $60,000. And if you get your wallet out and you work your way up to the more expensive ones, you can get as high as $88,000, maybe even $90,000 for a Black Label Aviator. So let's start where we always start, which is under the hood. Now, under the hood is an engine that's probably familiar to you if you drive a Raptor. That's right, it's a 3-liter twin-turbo V6 paired to a 10-speed automatic transmission. And it produces some of the more, well, should I say, powerful, best-in-class horsepower. 415 pound-foot of torque. Now, that's a lot. This would compete with cars like the Lexus GX, maybe the BMW X5, Volvo XC90. There's a lot of cars kind of in this smaller 3-row class. Now, for 2025, Lincoln has changed the styling on the car, and I like it. If you look, there's a LED that now kind of comes and makes its way into the grille. You've got the big Lincoln star boldly in your face, and of course, it looks a little bit more modern, a little bit more fresh, a little bit more new. Now, you can get the Lincoln Aviator in both rear-wheel drive or optional all-wheel drive. Really depends on what you want. Now, what are we rolling on? We're rolling on, let's look at these tires over here. These are Goodyear's Touring, and the size is, I hate when it's always at the bottom and upside down. Of course it is 275/40 R22, and that's what I was wondering. We're rolling on 22s. How cool is that? Now, a lot of the changes, of course, happened on the inside. So Cole, if you wouldn't mind, go around the passenger side. I'll get it here on the driver's side, and we can talk about the interior. Gee, one of my favorite things, when you can split the thigh support between left and right leg. That's for all of you who have shorter legs on one side. No, just kidding. But I think that's a really nice touch. Now, what Lincoln has done is they have kind of moved some of the controls up higher. They've also gotten rid of the traditional HVAC controls, kind of like our new Ford Mustang. The controls are now in the screen. A 13.2-inch touchscreen and a little bit over 12-inch screen that is completely configurable. And one of the new things for 2025 is that you can get Ford's semi-autonomous Blue Cruise as part of the Aviator. And, you know, I've used Blue Cruise. We, of course, had it in our Ford Lightning, which we drove across the country. And I think that's well worth it. Prices here start about $5,000 more than the 2024, but it's probably well worth the amount of money because you get a lot of standard features, including heated seats, 4-way HVAC, in other words, 4-way climate zones. They've moved the phone charger over here, which is a little bit nicer. I was wondering if there was a cooled box in there, but there isn't a cooled box. That's always nice to see when there's a cooled box. Of course, you've got these seats that probably adjust, well, you can see right here, let me show you, in a myriad of different ways. And I love the seat control. I think that's really nice. Just a really simple and intuitive way to do things. I do love this charcoal color. And I'm not a big fan of the push button transmission. Once again, why do we have to reinvent the transmission? See what kind of cameras we have. Oh, look at that. All kinds of cameras. I wonder if I can change the view on this. Probably can. Front. Not that anybody's going to ever off-road this. Oh, you can see the other Lincolns behind me. And there's a hitch cam too, because of course this can be used for towing. All right, let's check out the second row and see what they've done there. Captain's chairs, which I like. a screen which controls. Okay, thank you. Appreciate the nice gesture to let me know that I've got the doors open and that it's dinging a little bit. I think that's because Lincoln, has this in accessory mode, so that's why it's dinging at me. But we've got a regular power supply here for like your computer, and you got 2 USB-C ports, 4-zone climate controls, and one of my favorite things is there's this massive screen that you can of course now control from the second row, which is a nice feature because these cars do get dark, especially in the black series, the ultimate reserve. But not a fan of this. It's a little scratchy, it's elephant skin. Otherwise I like it. And I suppose I should get in the third row just to see how that works. Now Ford has done something really nice, and that is one touch, fold and slide forward, which makes it easier for the kiddos, because I know my mom wouldn't be able to get back here to get in the back of the vehicle. So let's see how these are. Put this down. Headroom is so-so. Nice big glass window. I've got, show this cool, dual cup holders. I've got my little vents here. Oh, very, very nice. And then to get out, oh yeah, love that. And here's the thing, whenever you have these smaller 3 rows, like in the GX, for instance, there's no room behind the third row. So let's see if I can stow not only the kiddos, but their stuff as well in this vehicle. All right. Oh, gee, it's dinging at me again. It's not bad. You could probably put 2 roller bags in here. So, it's American sized or Texas sized, depending on your point of view. Let's see what's under here. Oh, nice. A little cubby hole. You can probably put groceries in there. Yeah, not bad. Actually, quite a bit of room. Of course, if you want the ultimate amount of room, I would go for the Navigator. But, you can't have it all. So, there's one thing that the competitors have that this doesn't have, and this is a little tough because people are kind of backing off on EVs now. And unfortunately, the Aviator does not come as a hybrid. The Nautilus does, and when I review this, we'll drive the hybrid. But this is the only way it comes with this powertrain. Now, as you know, obviously Lincoln belongs to Ford, and at one point in time, and even today, Ford based a lot of their Lincolns on Ford versions. Now, you may be wondering, no hybrid, so what kind of fuel economy we're looking at? Well, about 17 combined if you get the all-wheel drive, 0 to 60, according to Car and Driver at least, in about 6 seconds for the all-wheel drive. The rear-wheel drive, 5.6 seconds. So that power plant is fast. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of speed for a vehicle that's basically luxurious and a family hauler. Now, if you're wondering about the Nautilus, please come back a little bit later this week where we'll do a complete walk around and review of the new Nautilus. But for now, there's your first look at the all-new Lincoln Aviator. It will be available this summer at a Lincoln dealership near you. Thanks for joining me. What a beautiful day here in Palm Springs. Much better than in Colorado. See you guys next time. Ciao.